You can just talk about it if you want.
Yeah.
But because I mostly want to know about World War II, what like Greece during World War II or Kefalonia during
Yeah.
World War
Yeah.
II,
Yeah.
and then afterwards.
Yeah.
So when you were here during World War II, and then when you were in the Merchant Marines, or when you were 12 and you left.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So what? How old were you when the Italians and the Germans came?
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. I think Italians came over here in 1939. And I think just a second. I remember. I think
Yeah, no,
39,
take.
the war started. The 1939, 40. Um, yeah, I think it's the war started 1939, 40, something like in there, and they lasted to about 47.
Mm,
Yeah. You want me to talk right now?
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
This
Well,
is just for it's
well,
just for me, so it's
anyhow, well,
nothing.
it's like um, this German. Okay, the Mussolini. Uh, they told him, the prime minister. There was, I told you, from the Kudurata over here, from
Kudurata.
that village
Yeah.
there, and Hitler, get together. They want to conquer the Guru. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
uh, the German went back East Europe. Italian came in West Europe. Anyhow, so Albania. So the Italian took the Albanian almost overnight. Italians, so they conquered.
Yeah.
So they Mussolini told our prime minister uh, to let the Italian to come, the Greece without fight, and he said, no, we celebrate. Every October we celebrate that day. Say no. I say you come in, you have to fight for. So Italian was 10-1 in the Greek.
Mm-hmm.
They was prepared. We're not prepared. So they started coming down. So I hear a story about it. So anyhow, after a few months, we pushed the Italians, the Greek soldiers, they pushed the Italians back to, away from Albania. And I hear the story, the truth or not, I don't know. They have a tanks, they didn't have no tanks. At that time, they will have a lot of mules.
Mm-hmm.
Mules, you know what the mules is.
Yeah.
Yeah. A horse, but not horse. Okay. Mule is doggy and mule. Okay. Horse.
Horse and donkey.
One with the mule, with the doggy, and then make it mule. You see,
Mm-hmm.
horse no make a mule, make a horse.
Yeah.
Burro and burro don't make a burro, make a burro. But when burro and horse get together, they go mule.
Yeah.
And there's a really mule. Sometimes when they don't want to do something, they stay there.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so one of the Greek soldiers was winter time, and he has a big coat, everything, and the tank came, and he was run away. The tank, they went through, and it went through the wheels, and stopped the tank couldn't work. So now the fanatic Greeks, they throw blankets, in the street. So they stopped at
The tanks.
the tanks, everything. Anyhow, so we took all the Albania. Italian took the Albania. We took all the Albania, but pushed the Italian back away from the Albania. I mean, like I said, it was a 10-1. And we did prepare.
Mm-hmm.
So Mussolini couldn't conquer Greece, because, but I mean, we always fight.
Yeah.
Easily.
Yeah. They're good at it.
Germans came. Okay. So when Germans came, what I mean? They was more strong, more organized, more like this. They fight, and they couldn't get to Greece. And they lost a lot of soldiers, really, a lot of. But one Greek general, traitor, traitor, them told him, you have to go a different way. There's not no much power.
Yeah.
So they did it, and after 6 months, what I mean, they conquered most, not the islands, the mainland.
The mainland, yeah.
Yeah. So that the Germans, so the Italians, they, with the Greece mainland, so everybody, we didn't have no power over here, nothing.
Yeah.
So the Italians came, they came almost over 30,000 soldiers in this island over here, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And also they have, you see, this is the way up the streets there?
Yeah.
Okay, they have a lot of canyons, everything. So they move my village us away from here. And they practice with the canyons. So really, I'm not kidding
Wow.
you. And then they took it to another villages. So and then they took it to another village, the same, they moved the other people. They moved the people so they have a practice of the Italians anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, the wars lasted by Italian was very friendly people. Italians, I mean, yes, very very friendly soldiers. I mean,
On the
yeah,
island?
yeah, but they were beginning to have rebels, Greek rebels. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
want to fight the Italians. So, but the Italians was really more cooperate with the local people over here, so we didn't have too much trouble, anyhow.
Mm-hmm.
So 1945, I think it was, Italia, the Mussolini, the Italian got a revolution, they killed Mussolini,
Mm-hmm.
so they didn't want the Germans anymore because they know they're going to lose the war.
Yeah.
So Germans came in, they want to come to conquer the whole Greece, all the islands, everything. But Italians over here, 30,000, then everyone, they will stay over here. The English government told us, hey, we give you ammunition to fight the Germans. But for 45 days, the aeroplanes, about 40, 50 aeroplanes, bomb us, all of them, all over the place. But English never helped them.
Mm-hmm.
So came to the point, what I mean, for 30 days, what I mean, the 40 aeroplanes every day, the bomb, they have no ammunition, So it was one big general, they have, I don't know how you call it, and anyhow, a lot of soldiers on his side.
Yeah.
And they told his soldier, hey, there's only one smart. I'm going to go over the German side, say I give up, and save you guys, because Italians kill a lot of Germans. They throw a lot of airplanes down, 30 days too. They have the canyons,
Oh, so they helped in Kefalonia.
Yeah, Kefalonia, that happened. That's only one place in Kefalonia. That happened in the whole Greece, really.
Really? Wow.
No, really. I'm not kidding. And anyhow, we go back to the other story, in Crete, okay, Germans went to conquer the Crete. They have a parachute. How do you call it?
Parachutes, paratroopers, yeah.
And these people, they want to kill them with the balloons. Or they have a hard time in the Germans in Crete. The Crete really fight very bad at that time, anyhow, for Germans.
Yeah.
But Germans kill a lot of Crete people too, anyhow. So we go back to Italians again. So the Italians gave up. So they give all the ammunition, everything. The Germans, they took the Italian thousands in the fields with a machine gun. Oh, really? I'll tell you, I'm not going to ask. I'll show you. Same type of story. They have a memorial. Italian people come over there. They took all the Italians and buried them there. So I think here they call almost 30,000 Italian soldiers they kill the Germans over here.
In Kefalonia.
Italians before the war they killed over about 7,000 too.
Yeah.
So they was very pissed off.
Yeah.
So anyhow, so he saved his company,
Mm-hmm.
the big general.
Yeah.
So And about 2 years later, when the Germans lost the war, 1940, 46, 47, I think, the war was over, yeah. Sami, all the Germans came with the ships to pick out all the soldiers. And Italian has a big canyons. You know, he was on a canyon. He, when the German wanted in the ship, they left him, he how do you call it, fight all the ships.
He sank the ships.
He sank all the ships. So really, the German, really was a big mess. That time, yeah.
From Sammy?
Yeah. But Germans was very more strict in a few things, and more good thing other things. They have the Greek flag, They let have a pray in a church.
They let you go to church.
In a school, we're praying every morning in the school, everything. But Italians, they don't. But the rebels came and they killed a lot of Germans. The Germans, they won the village. They take about 10 people. They kill 10 people
in every village.
Yeah, they killed. Yeah.
Wow.
Here, really. Yeah.
In Dorizata too.
No, in Dorizata. In a different place, the village. Yeah.
With the rebels in them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
The only over here, we just move us out many times. And the brickets are back. Move us out. I was living in Keramiers, my sister's husband, they have extra place over there. We live in Pesada, we live in Carvalho, different places.
So they move you often?
Yeah. My family move us out because they have a practice with the canyons.
Yeah.
Wow. There's one canyon, one in the church, but they didn't explode to either, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's about it, and like this. That was for the last about, how many years it lasted? It started 30, 35, 36. It's about 4 or 5 years it lasted, yeah.
Long time.
We occupied by Italians first, and then the Germans, yeah.
So then after that, you left, right? You went to...
Yes, after that, in 1947, 1946, I think, 1947, there was me, I was born in 1941, 1931, I was 7, I was 15, 14 years old. 16 years. But before that, I was working on a little sailboat. I was around 11, 12 years old, and we trash oil because we produce a lot of oil here. We produce a lot of wine here, and from Argostoli to Patra, and with a little boat, the ocean was just that much there. I remember, there's about 20, 30 hours to go over there. So,
to cross over to the mainland?
To cross from here to there, just like a walk, Anyhow, so I remember because I want to get a passport to put some months. So when I have 6 months, 1 year there, then I would go on the bigger ships. Anyhow, so 1946 or 47, I got my passport, the Navy. My uncle, who was first cousin to my father, he married the sister of some people. They have a lot of ships. So meanwhile, I forgot to tell you about the revolution. We have the communists. That's bad too, anyhow.
Yeah. You got time. You can tell me about that too.
Anyhow, and then my brother, we talked to my uncle, and by that time my brother went to Athens because communists want to kill him because they have one maybe half a year with communism over here.
Yeah.
So
Your brother was a sailor, right? He
yeah,
was a-
yeah. So my brother was little. I was little, so they didn't touch me. They took my mother. You know, really, they took all the bitty hair up because they didn't want to join the Communist Party.
Yeah.
And a lot of people they suffer from local people over here. You know.
yeah.
Anyhow, I went to Athens and then I stayed there for a little while, and then the ship came, Lycardopoulos, and there was seven sisters, they married seven captains. No one had a kid. So the family went disappeared and the world. I got I got the first ship. It was Nicholas. I used Saint Nicholas. That's the name of the ship. There was have a coal steam with steam.
Yeah, she shovel it
So
in, right?
I was meeting about 6 other kids around 15, 16 years old kids. They took us. They call us joveno. Joveno means you learn to be a sailor. So we didn't get too much pay, but we did all the dirty jobs.
Uh-huh.
So I was one of them, I was shovel, like the old, how do you call it, that, training,
Yeah,
shovel
like a-
guy,
like
yeah.
a yeah.
They have it like a steam, And
Yeah.
I went in like a white, but I came like a black and dark everything. Look at the moon, the big one. And
Yeah. Is it
Yeah.
full yet? It's almost full.
Yeah. If it was clean, it was a bit, it would be red, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyhow, so I went to the ship. Okay, to the. So my first trip it was to the. It was to the. Egypt with general cargo, and general cargo means everything:
Mm-hmm.
clothes, shoes, wine, wheat, everything. You load,
From Greece to
no,
Egypt.
no, from Egypt.
Oh, from there to here.
To take no here to take it to France.
Oh.
Yeah. So, a lot of clothes, everything. The first. Now, when we came back, Mediterranean, we were a lot of people from Kefalonia. We even a captain that didn't do anything, but was with us, well, not with us, but with us. They have somebody who watched the cargo in the ship, but there was only one, and we were about 20, 30 people in the ship.
Mm-hmm.
So what we're doing, somebody knew another guy have a big boat over here. So we stopped the ship, we took everything we could out of the ship, we steal it, the real, I'm not kidding you. We took that that load to
To the other ship?
And we bring it to Falmouth. When I came over here, I gave everybody's clothes myself, all of them. I gave you bikes, how do you call it? Put a white air in it.
Like a bike pump?
Pumps, everything.
Yeah.
Clothes, wine, a lot of material who make clothes out of it like this, So, but anyhow, so and then we let the other ship go. Most of the people from Kefalonia, we left the ship. We came over here. The captain was, I think, because he did I don't know what he did. So he went over there, told her what happened. They couldn't do anything about it. And this guy with the watchman, they couldn't do anything. He had pistol. He said, if you use that or something, we're going to throw you in the ocean.
Yeah.
So he couldn't do anything, but we just gave up to
Yeah.
they just us. So anyhow, and then another year later, I stay over here. I got another ship called Sonia. That was not steamboat. Then that was a regular
Like,
petroleum.
yeah,
the
gas,
diesel.
yeah.
So we went many places in England and for 2 years, 3 years, you know what I mean? In England, whole Europe, Africa, around Africa, a lot of places. We travel with the ship over there. And yeah, so one day, one I came to the United States. So I came to the United States, and I think it was Norfolk, some
Virginia?
place. Virginia, someplace,
Yeah.
yeah. Uh, and it was about we were 6 young guys. At that time, there was a communist, so they did not let us to go out of the ship. They they have watchmen watch us to, so they don't let in. When they want to go out, they want to watchman. They don't let us go out. So
Yeah.
we stay in the ship. They ask a question about me. So I say, hey, we know, we like America, bye. So they don't let us go. So anyhow, we left. We go back to Europe again. We loaded. I don't remember what we loaded. I think wheat. Anyhow.
Yeah.
We're going to Amsterdam. So then we travel again, and then another maybe 6 months we go back to America again. So this time I was pretty stupid. So when I told him, you know what I mean, I was so the kids asked, you know what I mean, asked me. I said, hey, hell, I don't like America, I like my country, pa. So they let me a little more free, but we still have a watchman. They didn't watch us where we were going.
Mm-hmm.
So I found the opportunity, and I didn't have any. I have $5. I didn't know the language, and I left the ship, and I told somebody from Spatia, take all my clothes, everything, to bring it, my neighbor, to bring it to my father and mother, all my everything.
Yeah.
Tell the cop to give my money, but never give the money. I was have common, so I was staying in 5 years in 5 days in a park.
Just sleeping on a bench?
Didn't have anything. I didn't know anything. Well, the best thing is, one time I went to big store, so I had to go to bathroom. So I didn't know if to bathroom. So I have to stop at somebody, and I said, "Can I? Where's my?" I'm not kidding. It's funny. Somebody. So the $5 didn't last long, but the $5 at the time it was, 5 cents. You have a cup of coffee at a time, 5 cents. So that $5 was a big deal. So finally, I must give up. So I found out in the Greek restaurant, Philadelphia. So I want to go tell him, what happened to me, Papou, what happened to you. So he helped me. He gave me work one month. But he said to me, I can't keep you longer because they're gonna look for you, then I'll be in trouble.
Yeah.
So he sent me to New York to some friends in another restaurant.
Where was that at? Where was that when you were
That was
first here?
at 1950. Because I think I came in 1950. I think 52. 52. I think I came in the United States. Yeah.
Where was that in Virginia again?
No. It was in it was in Philadelphia. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No. Virginia was at.
That was the first time.
Yeah, the first time.
Okay, so you were in Philadelphia, and then he sent you to New York.
Yeah, so I went to New York. The guy sent me to New York. So I come over there. I worked and I met some friend of mine from Dorizata over there.
In New York?
So, yeah, in New York. So we got one room together, and we sleep on one bed together in a house. So he was a barber, so he got a little job with the help with the barber. I said I was working at the grocery store in some Greek.
I'm kidding.
Some Greek store anyhow. But anyhow, so actually we watched the. So meanwhile, I have an uncle in California. My mother's brother in California. So I wrote to my mother to give me her address, her name, and the telephone. So finally, after 2 months, I got up the telephone. It was too. It's not easy to get the mail at that time.
Yeah.
Too far away.
Yeah.
So I called him and I said, "Hey, Uncle, I'm Papa. I'm your sisters, and if you have any job to come over here, oh yeah, sure, you come over here. The Papa." So anyhow, I told him I'm gonna get my ticket, then I go over there. So, meanwhile, I got my ticket
Hmm.
from New York to go to Lo- Lodi, California. But nobody told me.
Okay. Yeah. Sorry, I was just making sure.
No, nobody told me Chicago. I have to change it. It changed. They changed. So finally, I don't know how it takes me 2 days to go. I go to Chicago. I got Chicago. Everybody goes out except me. I was in the train. And finally, the guys who work in the train, they find me. They say, "Hey, we're supposed to go out because we have to go back where we come from. It goes from New York to from Chicago. They have another train to go to California."
Hmm.
So I didn't know how to speak English. So I saw Greek. Finally, there was one man, a Greek from Zakitho, have a stand, some business over there. And finally, they fired him. I told him what happened to me. I got my ticket. They say, "Oh, you got your own ticket, everything." Finally, are we going to change the ticket if you do? I don't know how to get. Or they gave me the money. My ticket wasn't good anymore. Give me something
Like a voucher.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyhow, these guys helped me so much. He took me his home for a couple of days. He showed me things he wanted me to stay there. Really, he
Yeah.
wanted me to stay in the
In Chicago.
in Chicago. Yeah, he have no kids, no nothing. He was married out there like this. He ever said we open business. Like when I wasn't ready for business, I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
I was trying to survive,
Yeah.
that time. I opened business.
Yeah.
So anyhow, 2 days later, he gave me one sack like the old Sanchez, and he told me, when you go to California, you go to Sacramento. Sacramento changed the train again. So I said, don't forget, when you get to Sacramento, you just be sure go out and find another to go to Lodi. So anyhow, I got Sacramento. Finally, I said, it's okay. I didn't have no trouble in Sacramento. I got it in, and then I took the Sacramento training. I find I have he had for me everything.
Yeah.
On the piece of paper.
In Greek.
Yeah. So I got to Lodi. I wait for an hour, 2 hours. Nobody can pick him up. Nobody can pick me up. So finally I say, heck, you know what I mean? I got to go, someplace. I was go to bathroom, and so
Yeah.
finally I saw a guy, and I saw him or me, and I said, sir, and I said, I wait for somebody, but I didn't know it was a Greek. It was Greek. It was my uncle. He looked for me. So
Well,
anyhow,
how long had it been since you'd seen your uncle? A long time?
I never saw you before.
Oh.
That's the first time I didn't know who it was. You don't know who I was either.
Yeah.
So I went with my uncle. I stayed with his family. I worked for 2 years like a slave. He only gave me $200 for 2 years, and I begged him to send that money to my mother over here. Yeah. So anyhow, he has 2 sons. One of them with one hand, and one of them has it was salesmen that time. They make the shoemakers.
Yeah.
They work for the factory. They take material, take the shoemakers. So you tell them to take me with me. So I went with, after 2 years I work in the farms, you know, I told them to my uncle, I say, I cannot stay anything anymore because I want to go learn how to speak in English. I go speak Greek all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why you say stay over here, stay? Well, anyhow, so I went to Roseberry, another a little town where he's living, he's married. And me and him, we went up the mountains uh, looking for gold. Really, I'm not kidding. Well, we find trace gold, but we never find any really gold.
Yeah.
I mean, in a river, we find it's powder, but it's just like a sugar, you know what I mean? Just,
Yeah. It's one like grain. Yeah.
You look at the old people, they were digging up for gold everything that time, you know, everything, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But meanwhile, we find a lot of flowers, a lot of leaves, a lot of flowers. We cut them off. We sell them to the flowers people, and we make a little extra money. I worked with him because he was salesman, and so he wanted to go to Portland. So I said, I'm going to go with you. So that's why I came to Portland.
Wow.
Yeah, with my now is everybody, all these people down there. My family is all dead.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a kids, I don't know. Yeah, but the old people in my
In California.
California, yeah. So so anyhow, 2 years straight, I forgot to tell you, we went up the mountains. You know, Crater Lake, they call it. And
Crater Lake, yeah.
And we got Christmas trees. And he's got a big truck. I work in the farms. Anyhow, I help him, and then he give me that, and he buy another house, and he have a chicken raised chicken. It's one room just like in my house. It was over 30,000 chicken. Oh, that's the worst occupation I ever had. Smell. Oh, there were so many. The one would go bite the other in the back. They took all everything. You know, really,
Yeah.
that was a very bad occupation.
Yeah.
So I really not. I would never want to work in chicken anymore. Anyhow. So we went to Portland, Oregon, and I have so little money. You know, it's a few dollars. I got the room was $5. $7 a month that time.
A month?
Yeah.
Wow.
Just a room board. You know,
Yeah.
we share one bathroom and one shower for 5 people, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Just a room to sleep, you know,
Yeah.
not to eat, you know, yeah. So, meanwhile, I went I look for job. So, you know, finally, you know, I know how to speak a few words. So I found one guy, who I found? Well, I found one guy who called Palumbis, that's from Jefalonia.
Palumbis?
Palumbis, yeah. And he introduced me to a guy, we have the restaurant. He was the best man I ever know in my life. So he gave me a job there. He called it Jolly Joe. And then I got the job to wash the dishes, you know, when but I was working so hard, so like this. So after 6, 7 months, I say
Promoted?
you promote me. Say you want to clean the tables and there. So I went to the lounge, clean the table, and then after that, in the bed, the bartender, the head of the bartender, say, hey, you want to learn the bar business? I say, yeah. So he took me. So he teach me to make all the mixes. You know, we make the own mixes. You know, like the lemons, everything mix. We needed high, Hawaiian tricks, all.
Yeah.
They make me. We have a buy frozen. bar, to the yellow over there. So that so one time they lost about they won about 10 days. I learned the bar, but I, I couldn't speak English too good.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew so, the drinks, but to make it, you know what I mean. But I didn't know. I couldn't make a conversation to
Yeah.
to talk to the people to talk, and I was just like a dummy, you know.
Yeah.
So they took him out for there, and then tried to teach me how to make a pastry. And that guy never showed me for 1 week. You know, anyhow. But before that, I don't know. Before that was that, or after when I go back. Yeah, I think I was a bar boy when I got a day off, me and another kid, and we go back. We find out with the immigration. My boss told her, the immigration was looking for you guys. Now, I don't know if after I went to the Navy or before the Navy, but anyhow, I don't remember the long ways. And I looked to this guy and said, what happened over there? We found out both of us, we're friends and we never tell one each other. And he liked to race cars. And he was flying airplane, learn how to, you know.
Yeah.
And I was about to learn too, you know, but they happen that way, so
Yeah.
all this. And then when we go over there and say the immigration looking for you, we look at one like this. Well, so now what am I going to do? I have a girlfriend, you know, my first wife, and he's got a waiters. And all the Metro D was a friend of us. You know, the Metro D, I'm the Lance.
Yeah.
So they took us to Washington, Stevenson. Then they get married that way there, you know. So we got married. Next day we came back. The immigration wait for us, you know. So they catch us. They took us up to the office, asked question, and you know, we asked them if finally they want to take us maybe to the port or something. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
But before they do that, I say, we have wives wait for us in the car. I told you that, yeah. I said, well, yeah. I said, when you guys married? I said, this morning. I said, you sound about Bishop Greeks. So anyhow, 2 days later, asking me earlier to go to draft board to register for the service. Me and him and Warren.
What year was this?
1956, I think. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Because I think I went to the Navy, 57, between 56 57. Yeah. After the Korea War.
Oh,
yeah,
good. Yeah.
About the Korea War stopped, yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 days later, they drafted me in the Navy. I went in the Navy. I didn't know how to. Believe me, the Navy, they have a different language. You know, everything is different. Then, you know, the deck, the head, the bathroom, everything different. I have to learn it different. But meanwhile, I was speaking a little Greek because home, when I was working 2, 3, 4 years before they catch me, I have a book, and then I learned myself how to write. I took a book, then I repeat, write, and the same word I try to memorize. So
Yeah.
I know a lot of words, and virtually it came to me to start to talk
Yeah.
a little better, better. And I still can't speak a Greek. I mean, American, I mean English too good either. So, anyhow,
Oh, how can I turn on this light really quickly?
okay.
Where's the light switch on the inside by the door? Is the
Yeah,
light switch?
inside the door,
okay.
yeah.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Oh, kittens. I forgot I could just go through the front door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where's your friend?
She's reading.
Oh, she did.
Yeah.
Oh,
She's reading Corelli's Mandolin about Kefalonia.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
Uh,
Well, we were.
the Navy. So you
Oh, the
you got
Navy.
drafted.
Okay. What did the Navy everything? So I went to the classes. I went to the class every day, every crazy class. After the class, would give us a form to the questions to fill them up what we learned.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know how to read, I didn't know how to write, I didn't understand when I have anything. So I closed my eyes and I fill them up 100 questions, Papa all of them. Maybe the 4 or 5 was by mistake. It was
You got him right.
very good. Yeah.
So
So they know I can't able to go, so they sent me to school for 3 weeks. I was not me, and there was hardly hundreds people, from Texas.
so it that's like teach you how to read, write, school.
Yeah, the school. Yeah, they
Yeah.
teach us how to write, to learn how to speak Greek, to that for 3 weeks.
That's-
Only 3 weeks.
Was that part of boot camp?
Eh?
Was that part of boot camp or was that separate?
And that was separate. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Separate. So after 3 weeks, you give a test. If you pass the test, they send you back to the company. They took you off for the company. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I finally, I don't know how I did it, but I passed the test.
On the first try?
The first time. And I'm the only one. All the others stay there. You see, that time there was a lot of black people in Texas. They would discriminate them. And they no education at all. There was worse one.
Yeah.
And they came with that for the family. Me, I was travel the world. I was more educated by, I was about 21, 22 years. No, for 50 to 57, I was 31. I was 25, 27 years old.
Oh, yeah, and most of them are 18.
That time, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I know a lot of more,
Yeah. You got world
I
experience.
do my own laundry, I do my everything, I was working
Yeah.
very hard. And those guys, they didn't have an opportunity. They don't even give me a job, the fathers,
Yeah.
even they do right now.
Yeah.
So, there's only there. But when I go to Georgia job before that, that working,
Yeah.
they discriminated me too.
Yeah.
Especially my boss, ex-wife, who was divorced, but she was the boss in that restaurant.
Uh-huh.
And she was trying to fire me and another kid, the other kid, because we didn't know how to speak English, so we had to speak Greek.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have a hard time, believe me, we have a hard time,
Yeah.
even me.
And so you passed the test.
Eh?
And then you passed the test, they let you join the company again. No.
My head is not as good to be
Your head's
right
you,
now.
you're doing great.
I passed the test, I went to the company back there, and you see, I have no education, no place to go, so they will let me peel potatoes. Peel potatoes, and and onions, for mess cook, for a little while, and then I was trimming the bushes because I have a lot of bushes at the time,
Yeah.
Anyhow, what did a lot of work with
On the base.
on the base, yeah, on the working days. But most of the times I would stay in the barracks. Now every day, when the inspections coming, you have to have your bed. They teach you how to fix your bed. They teach you how to fold your clothes. You teach you everything. You have to put it on top of your bed, and the inspectors going to come over here, everything. So there was a urinals, to go to
Yeah.
pee, there. There was a copper. There was a copper there. I was shining those myself. The other company would do outside, how you call it, do exercise, everything,
Yeah.
parade. And they let me do
The cleaning?
to clean everything, and they watch the people before, after they left, how they folded the clothes, everything. Anyhow, so the inspector came. The best number is a 4-0. Every time they came, I got 4-0, and I was part of me, fix that.
Yeah.
But sometimes a lot of people they was trying to parade that they was not safe, or they got sick or something. So he called me to go take the place too. So I was loving too much too. I was
Yeah.
just love too much. So anyhow, I promote my company. I promoted him number one. So we have the advantage to go to eat first because we have to stay 1 hour the line before you get.
Really? Oh, wow.
Oh, there was a lot of companies,
Yeah.
now, but they have beautiful food. Eat what you want to eat, but don't throw away. If you after you finish in the line and take your dish, they check you this if you have any food. If you do, the penalty you. They, really, they
Like push-ups?
They put you in jail too.
Oh.
Really. Oh yeah. If you throw food away, and sometimes if we do something, you do something bad things, and they do, they put you down. That time it was very bad. They need down there.
Yeah.
I mean, really, they was
Wow.
very strict. One time we went to a swimming pool with the Navy. Everybody can know how to swim.
Yeah, I hope so.
Well, I know how to swim. A lot of people, they could do it. They have a big baboons. And they force them to go inside the deep to really. They're very strict at that time. I don't think so they can do it right now.
I don't think so.
A lot of these people, they will run away. And they have to catch them. They drafted him to different, and if they do the same thing, they put him in jail. For so far, really.
Yeah.
A lot of people they suffer bad, really. They was very strict at that time in the
In the Navy.
in the Navy. But you see, I was left. I have a hard time in my life for you. So for me, that was easy.
Right.
I know how to live without. Those from these kids, they was raised with father and mother. They went to the Navy, and they didn't know anything, poor guys, what I
Yeah.
mean? And then the final line was very, very, very hard,
Yeah.
So, anyhow, so after 3 months, so they discharge you for the boot camp, and then they send you different places, the ships,
Yeah.
everything, yeah. So I couldn't pass my test, so I couldn't let me go. But there was up the commander officer who was training you to let you go. So he gave me an envelope to pass inspection. Depends what he has in envelope. So these guys, another officer. So we want another officer. We line the people. Where did he go? Did he pass the test? What's in envelope? If he have he was good. We let you go. So I was the last one. I was second. So they asked me one question. I said, who was the commanding officer of the naval base? So I knew that time. I forgot right now. And they opened the envelope and you say, what? Yeah, it looked like this. What they got? You got the most honorable, the best discharge you ever, I think, somebody recommended me.
Wow.
Yeah, because, I promote the company. Say, get out of here, go home. So I left to go home for 1 month. And then when I go back, they transfer me in Alameda.
In the bay, by San Francisco?
And the Alameda, they have aircraft to carry small. And we transfer airplanes for a year or something. We're based in Hawaii, and then with the Thailand, Japan, Indonesia, all back in all those.
Oh, you went all over?
Yeah, we took all the airplanes, the old airplanes, the old airplanes.
Yeah.
That, with propellers. That time they came with their jets.
Yeah.
So they want to get rid of the aeroplanes and give it to those countries, yeah. So we transferred 2 years. My time came in, to discharge me 2 years later because they have too many draftees. They didn't want to, they want people who was volunteer to stay longer.
Right.
So they want me to go. So when they let me in, they found out the papers, and they didn't know who I was. So I forgot to tell you all the honors I got on the aircraft to tell you. Well, they haven't got that yet. So that was what I'm told like this. So anyhow, they transferred me in the airplane, the aircraft. I stayed there almost a year and a half, something like this.
Yeah.
Okay. The captain was a Commodore. This was above captain. So the first time I went over there, I was working in because I didn't have no education. I couldn't stay. I couldn't go because they have the computers. I didn't know anything about it like this. I don't know how to speak it. So I had to do all of these worst jobs. Yeah.
Right.
And so I was volunteers washing the dishes. It was about 6-7 other people washing the dishes too. We were about 200, around about almost 200, 225. All of
on the
people
carrier
on that aircraft. Yeah.
Wow.
There was not very much. There was World War aircraft. They couldn't fly anymore. Airplanes. They couldn't fly. It was just put airplane.
Just put them on
different decks. Yeah, it would transfer to different countries. So that I was, and about 2-3 months later, I don't want anybody. Finally, easy. I told her in the kitchen there was Italian guy, chef. He was in the kitchen what they had there, and I came friend with him. So I told him I don't want this guy. It's my way. Yeah, it does. So I left him alone.
Mm-hmm.
So every day I wash this, everything, I have to be clean everything. I see the inspectors came in for now if it's and clean everything. They find fine. Finally they let me alone. So many times I did clean go to the kitchen, I was up to the deck, I have a deck, I was laid down over there in the sunshine. A lot of all the other people was working, I didn't work. They took advantage there,
That's what you get when you're a good worker.
Yeah. So finally the captain found out I was Greek. So he asked the chef, I told him I was working in Merchant. So he took me up to how do you call it that with the steering wheel that
I don't know the word for that.
They have it. All of it have
Not
a
the
name.
stern,
I forgot.
not the port, not the bow. I don't know my boat words.
Anyhow,
I don't know.
Anyhow,
Where they steer it.
Well, where they steer it.
Yeah.
Anyhow. And there was most of the time it was automatic. Yeah, only when you go to the port close to there, there's a pilot.
Mm-hmm.
But they're making me look out. And this guy was like he loved Greek history, and asked him a lot of Greek history. Well, I just passed all the grade school. Then I had no education. I learned very little.
Yeah.
And I learned more Greek history for him. How do you call it?
Then in school?
Yeah, no, I learned more than the school. I learned more about him, but he learned from me.
Oh.
Okay. So I have a good time. Over there, I was sometimes rainy, wind. I was outside, the binoculars, what I mean, for the ships too, everything, I was for a year and a half. Okay, came up to the church. Oh, I forgot to tell you. Okay, every 3 months they give a test. They try to promote to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I never passed the test. But when I was in the deck, he's got my name in.
He could probably promote you, right?
Promote me.
Yeah.
Okay, from 1, 2, 3. And there. The promoter, just to get the extra money, he knows I was money, more money. Now, he knew A lot of people with one or two, you had to know a lot of things to stay there. About 10 years to do that, and just stay there.
Yeah.
I was only 2-3 months to get those. No, really, he liked me, that guy, you know. But anyhow, so one day, we have an inspection over there. He called me, said, Angelo Marcadonato, and told these people, you know, I want you guys to be just like this guy. He said. He told me he's clean, working, all the good recommendation to this guy, you know what I mean? All you got like this, you know what I mean? And anyhow, and then 3 times, or 3 or 4 times they promote me, and just to get extra money. So when we went to Japan, everybody also, a lot of people they want to go. I was married by that time. I didn't want to go because I was married.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want to go looking for women, everything, like, you know, prostitute, everything, you know.
Yeah.
So they pay me some money to do the job, to stay for them. Well, I make good money. And also, you know, sometimes I loan you some money, $5, $10. For that time, it was $5 for the good money.